Hey everyone, welcome to the second annual Max and Ben Talk Hockey draft show. So Ben and I are not together today, but we're going to do our best to still give you the best coverage we can. We've got notes in our own rankings from all the players that are going to be drafted today. There's going to be 32 of them, and we're going to be talking about topics in between about all the trades that happened today. So I guess we'll start off with the Georgiev trade. Ben, what do you have on that one?
Oh yeah. So essentially, from what I can tell, the Rangers traded their backup goaltender Alexander Georgiev to the Colorado Avalanche for, I believe, a 2022 third, a 2022 fifth, and a 2023 third. For both teams, this trade makes sense. I mean, for the Rangers standpoint, you got Igor Shesterkin, and the Rangers we draft like at least a goalie every single year. We love our goalies. We have so many of them playing in Europe and in the minors and out in juniors, and we have a really tough goalie pool, and I think it's probably the best in the league. And to be fair, we don't really need Georgiev anymore. So I guess that's why the Rangers shipped him out to Carolina. I guess for Carolina's standpoint, Darcy Kemper isn't resigning. That is something that is very important. He's not. He's going to test the free agent market, which is very important. Um, so yeah, I think bringing Georgiev fills a big need for them because you can't go riding out with Pavel Francouz. So what they're probably going to do is sort of like a 50-50 thing where it's just going to be like they're going to ride the hot goalie. And if the hot goalie suddenly gets cold, then they're just going to switch to the other one. They're going to ride him until he gets cold. So it's a risk, but a very necessary one. And I think it's going to be. I think the trade worked out for both teams. There's one other trade that happened today, by the way. Alex DeBrincat to the Senators. Max, you want to break that one down?
Yeah, I'm hoping they're not going to announce it right now, but yeah, that's another big one. I mean, DeBrincat. I mean, we heard the trade rumors the last couple of days, but it seems like kind of a bad move for Chicago. They didn't get that much in return. I mean, obviously the seventh overall pick is a big one, but then you're getting 39th. Like that's not something you're really expecting. And on top of that, DeBrincat, he's a big name. I think if you look at forward since the 18-19 season, I believe he's third or fourth in goals scored. He was a huge steal, kind of late in the first round for Chicago, and all of a sudden you're giving him away for like I don't want to say nothing, but not much. What do you got to say on that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, the seventh overall pick, that's definitely someone. You can pick someone like David Jiricek, Simon Nemec, Brad Lambert. You could pick someone there. But really, in the second round, who are you going to pick? And then the third round, who are you going to pick? This draft class is extremely top heavy, and it's not the greatest in the later rounds. I have noticed. So I think past the second round, there's not that much to choose from, which is very unfortunate. But I think that is the case, and yeah. So I think it's just like you got the seventh overall pick, and now you got to use it, and you've just given up someone who, in my opinion, cost at least two firsts. I don't care which year, but at least two first round picks plus maybe an active player, not just a first, a second, and a third.
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of look at all the trade rumors and what they had kind of going for them, it almost seems like it was kind of like a rush decision. Like they didn't really take this into full account. They had the entire day today to, especially at the draft, these picks are way higher than they actually are a week or two before. So it seems really weird that before the draft even starts, they're rushing to trade this pick, and that's not Alex DeBrincat worthy a seventh, a ninth, and that's not what Alex DeBrincat's worth. But before we don't have enough time, let's talk about the biggest thing of the night. Wright versus Slavkovsky. I mean, the power forward versus the two-way forward, big versus kind of smaller, Canadian boy versus a European guy. Everybody's got a different opinion. Most people are saying Wright. I'm going with Slavkovsky. What about you? What about you, Ben?
I mean, right now in our rankings, we have Shane Wright, and I'm gonna stick by it. I think Shane Wright is definitely the safer pick. He's NHL ready, fresh off of a great season with the Kingston Frontenacs of the OHL, and I mean he's been doing great, and I think He's doing really well, and here's Martin St. Louis with the first overall pick. So we're going to see. Personally, I honestly think Shane Wright should go first overall. Slavkovsky, there's a bit of a high risk, high reward there, just a greater risk. However, before Martin St. Louis does announce the pick, Slavkovsky did meet with Montreal owner. I don't know the Montreal owner's name, but I do know he met with the Montreal owner today. So there might be something where Slavkovsky does go first overall, and if that happens, that's going to be huge.
Absolutely.
Max, let's see. What does Martin Louis have to say? Yeah.
We do not speak French.
Oh, either way, is it still Bettman talking, or is St. Louis?
It's St. Louis right now. I think
Is
he's
he
talking about
pick or is he? Oh, okay, something.
In the meantime, he's either going to be like a dynamic duo in Montreal with Wright and Suzuki, or maybe Caulfield gets a line mate, Gallagher gets a line mate. That'll be like huge.
Yeah, or Slavkovsky. I mean, Slavkovsky's still really, really good. It's just the mystery. There is no player that we've ever seen in the history of hockey that could even play like him. I'd say he's a power forward. Shane Wright's definitely two-way.
Yeah.
The only non-active person who I can assume would be even close is Eric Lindros. But granted, Eric Lindros did have his fair share of concussions and everything, so please take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're gonna see we're gonna see who the Montreal Canadiens select and add to their team. And I mean, second overall, the Devils may select Logan Cooley. I mean, that's also not out of the question.
Yeah.
He may take a year or two because he's committed to the University of Minnesota to play with them Golden Gophers. But he's still a very, very solid player.
Yeah.
I think he could be very good. Max, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the last couple of drafts, it's usually you got your number one side guy. We know it was Hughes. We know it was Power. We know it was Lafreniere. This year, we do not know. We can lean towards Wright, but we're not sure. Montreal is known for pulling random things out of nowhere, so we'll see what happens.
Yep. I think Martin St. Louis is.
Are they on the board now, or are they?
I do not know. To be fair, I can't really.
It's like, what is it, 3 or 5?
I'm trusting you on this one, Max.
I want to say Gary Bettman's talking again.
Of course he is. Okay, never mind. That means we have a bit more time, so I think we're gonna go over our top 5 rankings for now until the Canadiens are on the clock. So we're just gonna go ahead and start off with Shane Wright. I mean, the two-way forward, dynamic playmaker, sniper's release. He had 222 points in 105 games with Don Mills Flyers in the U16 AAA. Then he received exceptional status to go up to the OHL earlier. And in 121 games in 2 seasons with the Kingston Frontenacs, he had 160 points. This guy is a true two-way player, and he has the potential to be very dangerous and versatile in his two-way game. He's a player that can handle a play in any situation. He can handle top-line minutes. He can be on power play, PK. His IQ, work ethic, offensive potential, and defensive awareness make him a top reliable defenseman similar to that of Patrice Bergeron, who we have as our NHL comparison. Next up, of course, we have Gerard Slavkovsky. He had 31 points in 29 games internationally in juniors, and he's ranked top 5 in draft by 12 out of 13 major draft rankings. I mean, he's obviously huge. He's 6'4", he's 219 pounds, so he's definitely physical. He's an elite shot for a player of that size. However, his weaknesses are his skating and his hockey IQ. He does not have a comparison, as we alluded to. He has a completely unique playing style that we've seen while watching the film. And he has an extremely high ceiling. I just think that there is a potential that he couldn't reach that ceiling. Next, Logan Cooley. He's 5'10", so a bit smaller, and 175 pounds. He's definitely smaller. And yeah, he's from the U.S. National Development Program. He's also a two-way forward. You don't really get many snipers or playmakers in the top three. I guess his strengths are his two-way game, IQ, work ethic, puck skills. His weaknesses are size and strength. Obviously, he's not the tallest nor the strongest. His NHL comparison, I have to say, is Sean Couturier, which is very good. I mean, Sean Couturier is what you think of when you think of a two-way forward, either him or Patrice Bergeron. They both win Selkies all the time. And yeah, next up we have Matt Savoie. And I think his NHL potential is definitely first liner. I mean, he had 90 points in 65 games with the Winnipeg Ice this year. Again, two-way forward, but extremely short. He is 5'9" and 170 pounds. But he is really good at scoring. He's an extraordinary skater, and he's really good on the defensive side. And I think he compares most to Kevin Fiala. I do think he's going to put up more points than Kevin Fiala, though. Kevin Fiala, put up, I believe, 75, 80 points. I think Savoie has the potential to go 90, 100.
Yeah, and if I could jump in real quick, I mean,
Yeah.
we saw what shorter players they've been getting later and later in the draft. I mean, obviously Caulfield, he was probably a top 10 guy, absolutely, and see him go down to like teams at 11, 12, 13 passing on him. I wouldn't be surprised if Savoie ends up going down to 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, Savoie could definitely do that, but I don't think he's that short. And I think they're not going to ignore the 90 points in 65 games. That's definitely something you cannot shy away from. And last on our top five is Joakim Kemell. He's 5'11", 176 pounds. He's from Finland. He's 23 points in 39 games with JYP. That's in the SM Liga. That's Finland's pro league, or top pro league. I'd honestly say he is the definition of a sniper. His strengths are shot, stick handling, and positioning. Weaknesses, puck control, decision-making, skating. His comparison, I'd say Brock Besser.
Montreal's is in, by the way.
Oh, Montreal's pick is in. Well, it's definitely really good. Obviously,
17 seconds left on the clock, and
oof.
Here we go.
The big moment. It's the big moment. 12 minutes waiting up till this moment on this live stream. Let's see the Montreal contingent's walking up. Max, so what do you think? What do you think's going to happen? Let's give a really quick prediction.
I mean, I think the fans will be happy to see the Canadian boy picked. I think it's going to be right, but I would not be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I have tons of Devils fans who are actually watching the draft right now, and I told them it's like, and they were asking me because, of course, they know about the channel and they know that I analyze my prospects. And I said, I love both of these players. Both of these players are amazing. I think they're going to both be stars in the NHL. But right now, we're just waiting on who's going to announce the pick and who's it going to be. Is it going to be the OHL or is it going to be the Slovak from Slovakia? All right, it's the moment. It's the moment of truth. Max, get in the camera shot. Max.
Yeah. Put the volume on.
Yeah, good idea. Okay.
Right now.
Clapping, can Hughes.
Organization, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Marchman family.
Yes, Brian Marchman. He did pass away. Father of Mason Marchman, current NHL player for the Florida Panthers. That is very sad news to hear today, of course.
Joe Sakic and the Colorado Avalanche.
Everybody's waiting for it. Where is it?
Congratulations to the Avs.
With our first pick in the 2022 NHL draft. Les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team.
Oh!
There's booing going on from the crowd right now.
Okay. Juraj Slafkovsky, first overall.
You did mention he was called to the office this morning. That's usually what they do with the number one.
Wow.
Shane Wright is like shook.
Wow. I mean, Shane Wright, I guess. Newark, New Jersey, get ready. You're getting a great two-way forward. But first, let's talk about Juraj Slafkovsky real quick. 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a left shot and he's Slovakian. I'd say power forward. great offensive skill set. We predicted he could be picked at number 1. And, I mean, internationally, 31 points in 29 games. I mean, in 12 out of 13 major draft rankings, he's ranked as a top 2 player. And I think his weaknesses are skating, IQ. Again, completely unique playing style. There is no one on the face of the earth that plays like him. The only one that would, I would say, is Eric Lindros, but he doesn't play anymore. Of course, he's retired. He's very old.
Yeah. I mean, he is the best power forward in this draft. And when you look at Montreal, they're not a team known for their size. And you got Gallagher at 5'11", Caulfield at 5'9", just short, like not the biggest guy. Suzuki's not huge. And then you look at Slafkovsky coming in here at 6'4". I mean, they're definitely getting some much needed size to their team. And the Devils, I mean, this is a win-win situation. They knew they were getting someone good here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like the Jack Hughes Kaapo Kakko saga from 2019. It's like whoever's going to go first overall, like the team that's getting second is still getting a damn good player.
For sure.
So, yeah, it's only time. And I think Slafkovsky, of course, he could be really, really good. And, yeah, Max, what else do you have to say on Slafkovsky?
He's just such a, everything you need. I mean, one of the biggest parts about hockey is winning battles. When you can win battles in the corner, in front of the net, wherever it is, that helps you win games. And very rarely does he go into a corner and come out not having the puck. He wins almost every battle. He knows what to do with it. And for him to go to a team like this, I think it's huge for him. But the question right now for me is, can Montreal's development make or break him? You know, I mean, if they could do something like they did with Suzuki, I think it'll be huge. But if they do something like they did with Konkiniemi, are they gonna like really mess this guy up?
Yeah, and I don't really think they messed up Kotkaniemi. I just think he was a bit rushed in just due to the situation. Again, that's a discussion for a later time, and that's definitely something else that should be mentioned. But I mean, George Slafkovsky, number 1, I definitely did not expect that one.
Yeah.
And one thing I do see right now is Marco Kasper ranked at number 10. We have him ranked at around the 20s, and could surprise a bunch of us. Something that I've heard is his skating. His skating is elite. I've talked to a number of guys from the hockey writers, and they say that Austrians they always have the best skaters. We saw that with Marco Rossi. His skating is very, very good. But Marco Kasper's top speed can only be rivaled by some guys called like Chris Kreider, what's his name, Dylan Larkin. I wouldn't say McDavid top speed, but I'd say very close to McDavid in terms of top speed. But I mean, a bit more on George Slafkovsky to start the year. Many had him somewhere near the 6 to 12 range in the first round. I also had him somewhere I think I had him at 9. He has a high upside, but he could get it done on the big stage and do it consistently. In 2021, he came with the opportunity for the young Slovak, who saw big time in Liga suiting up for TPS. You would notice that was the same team that Kaapo Kakko was drafted from, as well as a chance to wear his country's colors when he played a major role for Slovakia at the Winter Games in Beijing. So he scored twice in the bronze medal game as the Slovaks defeated Sweden to capture its first medal in men's hockey history at the Olympics. And Slafkovsky finished with 7 goals in 7 games at the Olympics, and very impressive run. And by the way, he also won the MVP award at the Olympics as well. So he brings already some pedigree. At 18, he's likely not done filling out his size. I honestly think he could grow to at least 6'6" and 230. So he could be the definition of a power forward for many years to come. He has the potential to grow into a legitimate power forward by definition with his high-end offensive skill, his ability to engage in a big way physically. And I think his size and physical strength makes him arguably one of the more dominant players in this draft, especially coming right out of the draft. And yeah, there's just so much for him. And yeah, there's so much that he can do. And yeah, don't forget, prior to jumping to Finland's Liga with TPS, Slafkovsky was averaging 1.64 points per game. So essentially a point and a half a game with the under 20 team. While the production has dropped offensively with TPS being the Finnish league, it's not known for its offense. Still has 10 points in 31 games. So that's definitely something you do see out of a top prospect.
Yeah, so the Devils now are on the clock, so we'll see what happens with that. But in the meantime, he did have the best ranked puck handling and arguably the most NHL ready guy given his size. He come right into the league, and he's going to be bigger than like 90% of the guys immediately. But I guess the next discussion is it clear cut like it's going to be Shane Wright right now, or can we see Cooley make that jump?
Yeah, and I mean, I honestly don't think Cooley will make that jump right away. I really think that it's going to take some time to make that jump, being that he's already committed to play in Minnesota. But he could pull like an Owen Power or Matty Benier situation where he just signs his ELC as soon as he's done with his freshman year and just say, I'm tired of playing college hockey. It's too easy. Let me improve. Obviously, there is just that small risk, but that's okay, though. So, yeah, next up, the New Jersey Devils. They've had a lot of picks. They got 3 first-round picks in 2020. A lot of really solid players. And now in 2021, Luke Hughes was a stud for the University of Michigan, and he will be in his sophomore, I think actually in his junior season. And then Chase Stillman from the Sudbury Wolves is also a very strong prospect. I think he did extremely well this year, and he's only going to increase and get better. But now we're just waiting on the New Jersey Devils contingent.
The Devils pick is in right now. But just to keep an eye out for Shane Wright, he does have the highest floor, the best problem-solving skills, and he is the best two-way forward in the draft.
Yeah, I think that with the right development, Slafkovsky could be better than Wright. But if the Montreal Canadiens ruin him, which they might, we saw what happened with some guys like Kotkaniemi. They didn't necessarily ruin him, but they rushed him in, and you don't rush Europeans in. That's not the best way to do it. You give them some time. Give them some time to breathe and to get adjusted. Put them in the AHL. Put them in restricted fourth-line minutes. Don't give them that much time on the top lines. But Wright could be better than Slafkovsky. It's either way. You can honestly go either way, and each team will be really strong.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Here we go.
Yep, Devils on the board right now.
Imagine Wright going down to 3. That's not something any of us would have expected. But I'm sure they're going to be super happy for Wright if they do pick him.
Bonsoir, Montréal.
Marty Brodeur.
J'aimerais remercier la ville de Montréal, Jeffrey Molson et le Canadien de Montréal pour la belle hospitalité pour toute la semaine. Merci beaucoup. Also, I'd like to say hi to all our fans back in New Jersey at the Stone Pony at our draft party.
All right, Martin Brodeur.
Pour nommer la sélection de nouvelle assistante gérante Kate Madigan.
Legend right here, of course. Of course, yep. Oh, yeah, they did assistant, yeah.
Second selection, New Jersey Devils, proud to select. From Nitra, Simon Nemec.
Whoa!
Shane Wright is like crying right now for sure. Something is obviously a red flag for the general managers.
Saturday night for Slovakia.
Yeah. Whoa!
NHL draft.
Whoa!
A 6'190"
Simon Nemec, the defenseman. Okay.
Well, I didn't even have him as my number.
Oh, wow. We had him at number 6.
I had your check above him.
Wow.
This is pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, the Devils weren't really looking to get another forward here, but that is
no way. No way. All right, let's get right into it. Simon Nemec, he's 6'1", 192 pounds. He's a right shot defenseman. Those are very rare. Obviously, he's Czech. 26 points in 39 games with Nitra in the top Czech league. He's an outstanding two-way puck-moving defenseman. The thing that stands out the most in regards to his play is his poise and confidence when he's on the ice. Every decision he makes is with conviction as he displays high-end hockey sense. Even if he's facing a great amount of pressure or makes a high-risk move, he doesn't panic as he has excellent patience and control. He's great body positioning, does a great job of evading and fending off opposing players when in that situation. So, of course, his strength, skating, offensive game, transition, hockey IQ, and defensive awareness, all great things you need as a defenseman. Weaknesses, his risk-taking and consistency. I would say he's most likely someone like a Morgan Riley, who's good for 50 to 60 points in a season. And I think Nemec has the potential to be a real impact two-way defender at the NHL level. Teams covet right-handed shot defenders, and he's one of the best in his class, as he already has the poise and confidence. He's an impact player that can do damage in any situation. He's top pairing, power play quarterback, and shutdown defender on the PK. There's no doubt that he's going to have the bright future based on his ability to get better against tougher competition. Max, what do you have to say about this pick? And if you're Arizona, I think you're pretty happy right now, unless you fumble the bag.
Arizona must be thinking like the stars fell in our direction today. But I mean, again, the Devils really didn't need a forward. I mean, the forward pool is kind of insane, and even D. I mean, as we said, like Luke Hughes, it's not like a pick we were really expecting. But it also makes you think they could have traded down to like 4 or 5. But maybe that's not something that other teams are willing to do. But obviously it definitely brings a question mark. But Arizona is definitely like this is going to be a huge pick for them. And watch them pick Cooley. You don't know.
Yeah, and I mean right now you got Shane Wright at number 1. I don't think he's feeling very good right now. And then there's Logan Cooley, who, if you're him, you're going to be picked Kraken, which will be nice. The Kraken might take him. They might take David Jiricek. The Flyers, they could use any position. But this right now has been a weird draft. Weird draft. I think it's only going to get even weirder as it goes on.
I mean, I was willing to think that the Devils were like ready and sold on Slavkovsky, but once they saw he was gone, maybe they were like, "Hey, let's go with the guy that's comes from the same place." And for a defenseman like Nemec, who might be NHL ready quicker than most people think. I mean, we'll obviously see what happens, but it's obviously an interesting pick. And Nemec isn't a small guy. I mean, 6'1", he's definitely got some size to him.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, he does have a lot of potential, and I can see what's going to happen. Pair him with Luke Hughes. That's a damn good pair for a lot of years. So I could definitely see that happening. But, I mean, there is a potential that the issue, 40 minutes ago, Marc-Andre Fleury re-signed with the Minnesota Wild.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was going to test.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Either way, back to Nemec. I honestly think Nemec should spend a couple years in Czech League or in the OHL. I think 1 year, and then he should crack it. Same time as Luke Hughes, in my opinion. So, yeah, that is what I think.
So I did find out that the Fleury deal is 2 years. Not sure how much money. Do you know that, Ben?
Yeah, it's 2 years at 3.5.
All right.
I don't know what unchallenged money means, but I know 2 years at 3.5.
So I guess now we can talk about drafting a forward versus drafting a defenseman. Now that we saw a forward and the defenseman go from the same country, I think honestly forwards are probably easier to develop, but defensemen I think they have a higher risk but better reward. What do you think about that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just like it's based on team needs at this point. Like, something I realized, the Devils don't need another offenseman. They got Chase Stillman. They got Alex Holtz. Shakir Muhammadullin's a defenseman. Dawson Mercer is a forward. Like, they have their forwards.
The Arizona
City right now, Arizona's contingent coming up to the podium to ruin another prospect's potential and future, as they will do with Dylan Gunther next year. Sorry, too soon. But yeah, another thing I did notice, no goalies until the third round, and no USHL prospects until the second round. That does not include the U.S. National Development Program. That is their own separate entity that just competes in the USHL. No actual USHL teams, so like Chicago Steel or Waterloo Blackhawks or Sioux Falls Power. Or what is it? I actually Sioux Falls Stampede. There we go. Sorry. Right now we see Gary Bettman organizing everyone as they get ready to welcome their newest player into their organization. And I mean, right now, looking at Shane Wright, if you want someone that's going to take a little bit more time, you could give Logan Cooley a shot. I know for a fact Matthew Savoie is not going to make it into the NHL in his first year.
My name is I'm the president and CEO of the Arizona Coyotes.
All right, as Xavier Gutierrez, Coyotes president and general manager, is talking.
This organization, we'd like to thank the Montreal Canadiens and the great city of Montreal for your hospitality this week.
Okay.
We'd also like to congratulate the Colorado Avalanche on
Congratulate them on the cup. You gifted them Darcy Kemper. Get it?
We'd also like to share a moment of condolences to the family of Brian Marshall.
Of course, as they should. As they should.
To our fans back in Arizona, many of whom are watching us.
The 4 fans.
Oh, really? Or the 5,000 fans that are going to pack ASU. Wow.
The ASU fans from Joy to Court.
Oh, ASU. If you're going to ASU, you're having yourself a few.
To Arizona State University, we thank you for welcoming us into your family, and we look forward to playing in Tempe, Arizona.
Can you just move the back, please?
We look forward to our partnership in building an iconic sports and entertainment district. And with that, as we take our next step in our journey towards the Stanley Cup, I'd like to invite our GM, Bill Armstrong, to make our selection.
Okay.
Arizona selects from the U.S. National Development Program, Logan Cooley.
No way. They took what did Shane Wright do to deserve this? Oh my God.
Shane Wright, who?
Yeah.
Seattle. Watch Seattle.
Look at that face. Oh my God.
Wait, now I don't even know if Seattle's going to take him. Watch it. I think it might be like Hamill. Who knows?
Oh, wow. That's all I can say right now.
Logan Cooley.
All right, let's get right into this. Logan Cooley's 5'10", 175 pounds, left shot center, U.S. National Development Team program. Arizona does love guys from there. Strong two-way forward, although I would say not as good as Shane Wright, but he's picked ahead of Shane Wright. So strong two-way forward with very good 200-foot game, stick skills, and hockey IQ. 36 points in 24 games in the USHL with the development program. He's a top 3 player in 8 of 9 rankings, and we've shown that is correct. His strengths are obviously his two-way game, his hockey IQ, work ethic, puck skills. His weaknesses, because he's 5'10", 175 size and strength, his NHL comparison, Sean Couturier. And Cooley has the potential to be a high-scoring two-way center who can play both in the power play and penalty kill and be matched up against top lines of the NHL. At 5'10", he might not be impactful physically as Alexander Barkov or Jonathan Toews, who are 6'3" and 6'2" respectively, but his hockey sense and elusive nature will make him effective nonetheless. I wouldn't be surprised if he won a Selke trophy or two before his NHL career was done. And, I mean, strong words to say, definitely. And Arizona's getting a great player, but it comes at a cost. And the cost is a year of not having Logan Cooley, or at least the beginning of the next season, because he's committed to play with the University of Minnesota to play with the Golden Gophers. So the Coyotes are taking a shot on the dark at him, and we're going to see if it pays off.
His dad's crying right now.
I mean, granted, if my son were going to be selected in the NHL, I'd be crying also. Are you joking? But
Anyway,
anyways,
back to Poole,
uh,
he does have some of the best passing in this draft class, and he is a top. He's a safe pick. You know he's going to be top six. Almost no matter what, way you develop him, he's probably going to be a top six forward, like almost 100%. But it still puts a question mark on what are teams seeing at a Shane Wright that is making them not want to pick him.
yeah, and I mean, there's got to be something. And if anything, at this point, it's got to translate to something at the combine. Like, it was either a combine or an interview or just maybe team needs or team likelihoods ahead of Shane Wright. Because at this point, it's getting very scary for him, and I'd be extremely nervous. I'd be extremely annoyed. Or something that he might have done is, I mean, honestly, what my guess is something with an interview.
Yeah,
He definitely
I
screwed
don't
up an
think it's
interview.
a physical test that he did because no one really looks at that too much. But I mean, I definitely think it could be something with the way he's kind of addressing media. As I said earlier, I do think he's a little bit full of himself. He talks about himself like he thinks he's like the next hot shot, and he has every right to. But maybe that's something teams are trying to stay away from.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you don't really want a repeat of someone like a Nail Yakupov. That happened in the 2012. So, yeah,
We'll see what happens here.
yep.
They're not.
And,
The clock didn't even start yet, so we probably got.
wait, oh, is there a trade? Maybe.
Kirby Doc was traded.
Wait,
Montreal. Eh?
wait, what?
Montreal traded. What?
Wait, huh? I'm scratching. Turn up the volume, please.
Let me. I can rewind.
No, don't rewind.
All right.
Just
You told me earlier you just want to
Well, let's see. Well, I heard Doc was traded, so that's what I know so far.
I do hear Doc was traded. I will find that trade on. I'll find that trade very, very, very shortly. Do not worry,
Oh,
everyone.
here's one. Islanders have traded.
No. The Canadians have traded Alexander Romanov and pick number 98 to the Islanders for the 13th overall pick.
Well, yeah.
So, of course, there's something to be looked at there. And, of course, there's going to be something coming in any minute now on what happened with Kirby Doc, because I'm so confused right now. Something had to have happened, and if it was a Kirby Doc trade is going to be rough. But anyway, just going to quickly break down the trade that just happened between Montreal and the Islanders. So if you're the Islanders, you get Romanov, who's an established defender. And the 98th overall pick, you can select someone half decent for the 13th overall pick. We have right now at 13th overall, we have right now we have Denton Mateychuk from the Moose Jaw Warriors, a top WHL player. But at this point, we don't know. Something could happen. But anyways, yeah, Max, what do you have to say?
I heard about so the Doc one. They traded pick 13 and 66 for Kirby Doc. So 13 is actually going to the Blackhawks.
Oh, 13.
And then 66 is also going to the Blackhawks. And then going to Montreal is Kirby Doc. Huge.
Wow, so Montreal gets Slavkovsky and Kirby Doc?
Wow, they must be celebrating tonight.
And if I have to say something, what's going on with Chicago right now? Kirby Doc picked 3rd overall, and then you trade him for the 13th overall pick?
You got to think it's going to be a rebuild, possibly.
There's got to be something.
And then that points at maybe Patrick Kane going somewhere.
I don't think Patrick Kane's going to go anywhere, but something is going to happen. I do see blind ref logic. That is a premier meme There's a premier meme Instagram account said 10 haunting moments taken before disaster. George Slavkovsky going first overall. That gave me something, but I guess right now to describe what just happened, the only word I can find is weird.
For sure.
That's the only thing I can use to describe this.
It's got to be
Right.
like one of probably the weirdest draft in NHL history. And the Seattle.
Oh yeah. This really has got to be.
And we'll
So
see if Wright finally gets his moment.
I mean, maybe, hopefully.
I'll unmute that.
210 probably at some point. Again, that kind of playoff right there in the league with on that side when the guy's coming down the left wing.
All right. This Kraken Nation's coming up. Took Matty Beniers second overall last year.
Considering they picked the forward first round, I mean, maybe Juracek gets his name called.
Ooh. Ron Francis, maybe.
Shane.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
So
there we go. Oh, finally. Shane Wright.
The two-way forward, with like he's a dynamic playmaker, and one of the best attributes to him is his shot, which he could pretty much unload from everywhere. Not as good as Kemel's shot and a couple other guys, but he's got a hell of a shot. He absolutely unloaded it when he was younger, and then last year was a little bit inconsistent, but he did kind of pick it up later in the year. 15 out of 15 major draft rankings had him number 1, and he goes to number 4. He's got to be relieved to see his name called. And maybe in a few years, everybody's going to be looking at, like, what did the 3 teams, that passed on him? Is that going to be the biggest, thing that's going to haunt them?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, it might haunt them, but all I have to say right now is Seattle fans, buckle up. You guys got Beniers, and now you get probably who Maxson, I think, is the best player in the draft.
Yeah,
he has got to be the best player in the draft just purely because of his skill and just his two-way ability. Just out of the gate, it's like that shot right there that you can see on the TV screen. It's nuts that he can do that at such a young level.
He does remind me a lot of Bergeron. I was a Bruins fan myself. I mean, you do see, just the way he backchecks. He could play neutral zone, offensive zone, defensive zone. He does everything so well.
Yeah, exactly. I see him exactly like that. Something like that, or like a Ryan O'Reilly, who's very similar to Bergeron in many ways. Just O'Reilly's a bit more physical. So I don't really think that Wright fits that mold. But Shane Wright going to the Seattle Kraken. Kraken fans are loving it. Next up are the Flyers. And right now, you could take our projected number 4 pick at number 5, Matthew Savoie. He's small. That's an issue. But he's dominated the WHL, albeit on an extremely stacked Winnipeg Ice team, which is the issue and which is why we don't think that he should go in the top 3, Matthew Savoie. Or they could take an absolute sniper, Joaquin Kamel. Who are you going to pair him with? I don't really know. I would say Savoie because of his playmaking ability. You'd rather a playmaker and then get the sniper. But right now, it's been nothing short of craziness and weirdness. And finally, Shane Wright gets drafted and is the newest member of the NHL.
Yeah. I mean, Kemel's a guy I've been high on for a while. You look at when you're drafting a guy, one of the things that you want to be sure about is, obviously, can they put pucks in the back of the net? And that's something Kemel can definitely do. He could take a shot from anywhere, put it in the net. And I think that's a safe pick for Flyers here. If they don't want to, take a risk on a defenseman. And they've had problems developing players in the past. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and I mean, developing players is a major issue for them. And that is something that is like something that it's very important for them to address. And yeah, that's about it. Just like they just need to address someone. Like Carter Hart can't do it all. We've seen that happen. They had that run in the bubble. I thought they were going to win the cup, to be fair, over Tampa. They didn't. Right now, it's just, what are you going to do? It's rock bottom for Philly, literally.
Yeah.
Everyone thought they were going to take a step up. Everyone's going to be out the window. Provorov's going to be gone. They tried Ryan Ellis. That didn't work. Cam Atkinson's on an island. Rasmus Ristolainen, don't even get me started on that guy. He's not very good analytically. So I don't even know why Philly wanted him so much, but just Philly's been a mess. So yeah, what do you think, Max?
Yeah, I mean, back to the Flyers. Cam York is really the only guy I could say that's kind of trending pretty well. But drafting defensemen has been horrible for them. If I'm Flyers, I'm not picking a defenseman here. I just take the safe bet, go with Kemmel. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, as we were saying earlier, Savoie is a two-way forward. He's also a very safe pick. He might be small, he might be short, but he definitely has a pretty high ceiling. And I think it'll be a steal. Not a steal, but I think it'll be a pretty good pick for them to pick him up there. And he definitely got a lot of tools, and that makes him a really unique and good hockey player.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, I'm just all over Instagram. People are sending me so many messages. What the heck is happening? All I have to answer to them is just weird is happening. That's all I could really put it. And it's just weirdness is happening. And I mean, he was granted OHL exceptional status, or sorry, CHL technically, since it's the parent league. But yep, now we got pick number 5, and it's just been all sorts of weird right now. And the Flyers are going to be going up to the board soon, so we'll figure it out. And
the pick is in, yeah.
The pick is in?
Yep.
Yep. So I guess something we could also talk about is, I mean, probably after we react to the Flyers pick, is how the draft combine affects the draft stock, because that could definitely happen with someone had a bad interview and all the GMs are extremely close to each other, so they definitely they have their group chats. So I'll leave it at that.
So this is a very interesting pick. There's some skill and there's some D out there.
All right.
Flyers do. They are now picking 5th overall in the 2022 NHL.
Flyers did not decide to trade their pick. This is a very strange 3-way trade that happened earlier, but once it comes up, he invites someone else because, of course, he does.
Hello. With the 5th overall pick, the Philadelphia Flyers are proud to pick Cutter Gauthier.
Oh, Cutter Gauthier.
There it is. He's Boston College balls. He's a big
Boston boy. Wow.
Max.
Yeah.
Do we have him on our list? Do we have him on our list?
Yeah, I thought we put him on there for sure. Yeah, number 10.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Okay.
I'll let you do this one.
Okay. Sorry, I messed up on my written rankings. Sorry. Okay, Cutter Gauthier. He's a power forward. He's 6'3". He's 201 pounds. He's a left shot center from the U.S. National Development Program. 28 points in 22 games. I do not know where he's committed, but I will look that up as soon as I'm done with the segment. So, as one would hope for a prospect who's 6'3", Gauthier brings physicality to his overall 200-foot game. He has the strength to fend off attackers, knocking them off the puck in the defensive zone, and then lay the body to create turnovers in the offensive zone. He loves to get involved in scrums when he gets the chance. On top of that, he has NHL caliber skating ability. He's shown that he can be explosive coming out of the defensive zone and generates a lot of breakaways that is very good for them. Not only that, but it's very difficult to both knock him off balance and off the puck, which contributes to a relentless forechecking ability. He's very strong with the puck on his stick, whether it's attacking a defender out wide or cutting through defenders up the middle. His ability to carry the puck over the blue line allows for his team to enter and set up their offense. He loves to shoot and will shoot from everywhere. He not only has a strong and accurate wrist shot, but he can fire it off quickly. He's on pace for 40 goals in 38 USHL games with the National Development Program. His strengths include skating, shot, two-way play, versatility, special teams playing, and size. His weakness is passing, shot selecting, and consistency. I think his NHL comparison, he could definitely be the Philadelphia version of Max Pacioretty. And Gauthier has Gauthier, Gauthier has the potential to fit in several slots on the NHL lineup due to his positional flexibility, and it will make him a valuable player to any team, contending or building. In this case, it's building. However, the middle six forward may be his most suitable part. So I think he should honestly play a second role like Max Pacioretty does. He could be that second line, play-driving, scoring winger due to his shot explosiveness and on-puck strength, or as a third-line center who will contribute offensively but is responsible defensively. As he continues to develop, his special teams responsibility should continue to grow, and he'd be a staple on both power play and PK units. They're getting a good player, no doubt about it. They're getting a very good player. But
Yeah, he is the second best power forward in the draft behind obviously Slavkovsky, and he does have the fourth best shot according to Elite Prospects. But I mean, I think to watch out for is he's not as aggressive as Slavkovsky is going into board battles, so we'll see how that works. But and also the fact that he's a center and a left wing, meaning that we kind of got some flexibility with him. And another thing that his former head coach said is the way he moves his feet, plays physical, and gets to the inside is unlike any player in the draft. So we'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really see if he's committed anywhere or not. Yeah, I will look at that. But one cool thing about him is he's from Skellefteå, Sweden originally. So that is really cool that he actually came here when he was very young and he got American citizenship. So that's how he got to play for the
USNCTP?
Yeah, development team program. Sorry, I'm just right now I'm looking up a bunch of things and posting on our Instagram.
So Columbus is on the clock with 1:20. I'd not be surprised to see Kemmel go here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this draft. We thought he's going to come later on. Guess not. Where is he committed though?
Boston College.
Boston College. Yep. All right, good program with the Eagles. So that's good for him. It's very good for him, and I definitely don't mind it. And I mean, it's a good pick. Philadelphia definitely trusts him. It's very important that they do, just because they're such in shambles right now. Next up is the Columbus Blue Jackets. If you're Jarmo Kekalainen, GM of the Blue Jackets, you could just select a number of people here.
They're on the clock with 20 seconds left.
Yep. Did they trade? Oh no. They got this pick from Chicago from the Seth Jones trade.
10 seconds. Not locked in yet.
Yeah. All right. Pick should be locked in eventually.
Locked in now.
And you can take Matthew Savoie. You can take Joaquin Kamel if you want a sniper. I think you would really want one to pair with Patrick Laine. Actually, yeah, Patrick Laine. Sorry. Take David Jiricek, the defenseman, or Brad Lambert, the other defenseman. You could take Connor Geekie if you want another Winnipeg Ice player. You could take Frank Nazar. You could take Rucker McGroarty, Denton Matejchuk. The list goes on and on. Right now, it's anyone's game to take whoever they want. So let's see where they're going to pick. Max, volume.
We'll see what happens.
John Davidson, he was on the Rangers. I remember that.
Yes, you have a beautiful city. Thank you.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said, you guys have a beautiful city.
Nice.
We would like to say hello to our friends at Fifth.
Jack up the volume a little bit.
Thank you very much, Fifth Line, for being great supporters. With our first pick, I would like to introduce our general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen.
Because of course you will. If anything, he loves his Finns.
Overall pick, Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from Czech, Pilsen, David Jiricek.
Oh, David Jiricek, the defenseman. Okay, this
He's
is
at 7, and it is kind of an interesting pick. I mean, as you said earlier, right defensemen, they're so hard to come by. And if you get the opportunity like
Right
this,
shot D are extremely hard to come by.
yeah,
But let's get right in.
it lined up perfectly for them. I mean, he plays kind of all around. He has offensive parts to his game that separates him from other defensemen. He also plays really good defensive game. So his strengths, as I just said, is two-way game, physicality, and shooting is also really nice. But he could also work on his decision making, not only the speed of it, but also the right decisions. And that's something that is something you could get picked apart in once you make it to the NHL if you don't have the right decision making. But I think it's a really good pick in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean David Jiricek, he's 6'3", 190 pounds. See, obviously we said he's a right shot defenseman. 11 points in 29 games with Plzen hockey club. It's in the top Czech league. Now you may think, oh my God, he's under a point a game. What are they doing? But the Czech league is pro. Who's in pro leagues? 30-year-old men, 28-year-old men that have been playing hockey that are 10 years older than David Jiricek. So it's okay that someone from Europe is not over a point a game. It's not a big deal. And if you were a general manager of an NHL team and you were looking to add a steady all-around defenseman, you'd be hard-pressed to find a player who can contribute in all areas of the game the way that David Jiricek can. Hailing from Czechia, Jiricek started his hockey career playing for HC Plzen's youth team in his hometown. So he's definitely a hometown product and now he's going to Ohio. That's a great place to go. Like, you have Adam Boqvist coming up. Adam Boqvist just signed an extension. You have Zach Werenski right there to help teach the young Jiricek. Like, this is a great place for him. It's going to take him, I think, a year. But I think in NHL comparison right now, and I know he's still really, really young, but David Jiricek can end up like Mo Seider. I'm going to say that right now. And I think that Jiricek has all the tools to become a top pairing defenseman in the NHL. Whether or not he could put those tools to work in North America remains yet to be seen, but assuming he can, he's got all the skills to carve out a long NHL career, which is great for the Blue Jackets. They need a staple player, and I think they got one right now. And next up, the Blackhawks. That's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun.
Not yet on the clock, but again, I would not be surprised to see a guy like Kemmel go here. Again, I think he's the safest pick right now for sure. And another topic that we were talking about earlier that we could talk about now, I guess, is the draft combine and how that affects the draft stock. So former NHL general manager Brian Burke, he was definitely the general manager of the Flames, maybe the Leafs as well. But he
was the general manager of the Leafs, Canucks, Penguins, Flames. He's jumped around.
He's hockey operations director for the Penguins right now. But he said that the combine, how many pull-ups you could do, how many push-ups you could do, that does not affect where a team picks a player at all. It's more the interviews. That's what the whole point of the combine is. Also talking to other teams about players. But they're asking unique questions like, what kind of animal would you be? Who's your favorite player? Who would you compare yourself to? And they just ask like a lot of random questions to kind of get who you are as a person.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, asking different questions, it's very important. But I mean, you just want to get a sense of who the person is. I think that's the most important thing. Is who really is the person that you're bringing into your organization, and will he mesh with the right people? Is the question. So as we wait right now for Chicago to make their selection, let's look at who they can still select. There's the small forward, Matthew Savoie, sniper Joaquin Kamel again. They could go defenseman, but I don't think they will with Brad Lambert. They could go Connor Geekie, but I think if you want someone, you should just take Matt Savoie. But you could take some guys from the National Development Program. You could take Denton Matejchuk from the WHL. There's a Russian, Danila Yurov, a Swede, Jonathan Lekari-Maki. A couple more Swedes down the list. Marco Kasper, an Austrian playing in the Swedish league. Like, there's a lot of paths the Blackhawks could go, and I mean, it could go just any way it can. So, Max, what else we got? I mean,
I just heard a funny thing. One of my friends sent me said Chicago's taking L's left and right today. Not sure what's going on with them in trading, but obviously hasn't been going over very well.
yeah, Chicago, they're screwing up their trades. I'll leave it at that.
And the pick is in for Chicago.
The pick is in. Chicago contingent coming up. The ones that already have messed up 2 trades in one day.
If they
Didn't think you could do that.
If they pick Savoie or Camel here, I won't call it an L.
But 2 minutes ago, Brian Boucher suggests the Rangers will acquire Patrick Kane.
Wow, I heard about that.
The thing with him,
interesting development.
Important, and looking at a Colorado and Tampa, you have to think some of these teams are looking to speed in this draft too.
All right, Chicago on the clock. Who are they going to take?
That's just to say.
They might take, honestly, I'm overthinking it. They might go defenseman because they have Taysom Kane.
Al Davison, the new GM.
They might take Savoie because he is a DeBrincat replacement, literally.
Thank you, Montreal, for the fantastic week, and a special thank you to all the amazing fans here today who make this such a special event. We'd like to say hello to all of our fans back in Chicago, and specifically the Highland Park residents. Our hearts are with you. With the 7th overall pick, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select from the Seattle Thunderbirds, Kevin
Korchinski. Wow.
Good call, boys.
Wow, we have him in the 20s. Why is this draft so weird? Please, people, tell me.
He's got a big smile on his face right now.
Sorry?
He's got a big smile on his face right now.
Of course, I would be happy.
So is that another L for Chicago?
Sorry?
Do you think that's another L for Chicago, or?
I don't really think so. I think this is a dub, and this is why. Kevin Korchinski, he's 6'2", 185 pounds. He's a left shot D from the WHL. 65 points in 67 games for the Seattle Thunderbirds. Great program there. And it's easy to see why. This season with the Thunderbirds, the Saskatoon, Saskatchewan native has recorded 61 assists, earning the WHL's award for most assists by a rookie, building on his 2021 campaign, in which he notched 10 helpers in 23 games. His skating ability has improved so drastically over the past season that some have now tabbed him as the best skater in the draft class, making a case to potentially become the first defenseman to be selected. That did not happen. He became the second. His strengths, his skating, his vision, his puck skills, and his confidence. Weaknesses, decision-making, and consistency. I think Korchinski isn't a surefire lock for the NHL level, but if he continues to develop at the impressive rate that he's shown this season, many think he could be a reliable top 4 defenseman in this league. As mentioned above, there are a number of areas for improvement before he could even think about joining an NHL club, including the play in his own defensive zone. Through his WHL scoring and plus-minus rating pop off the page, there's still work to be done in the defensive side of the rink and will be critical to his development as a professional. And his NHL comparison that I've listed is Charlie McAvoy. So Blackhawks fans, buckle up. You just got yourself a Charlie McAvoy replacement. I think he could sort of be a Charlie McAvoy. Only thing is Korchinski doesn't score goals. He notches 61 assists. But still, he's very good. And I think definitely worthy of number 7.
Yeah, he's the third defenseman tonight, not the second, but
he is? Wait,
yeah.
who else?
Nemec, Juracek, and Nemec.
Oh, I forgot Juracek was a center, or is a defenseman. Sorry.
You're good. And then Detroit's on the clock. We'll see what happens with that. Again, I would not be surprised to see Camel. Detroit has been as notorious for developing guys with good shots, so we'll see what happens with that.
It's very good. I really want them to take Hemmel. Please just take him. Or Savoie. If you're Matthew Savoie, you're pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kevin Korchinski's still a very good player. But 7th overall, Chicago Blackhawks, Kevin Korchinski. I honestly had him very late. So, Kevin Korchinski.
Another thing to consider, Magdalene Wright was kind of passed on at 2 and 3. Maybe those teams weren't really expecting Wright to fall down, so that's maybe didn't have a full scouting report on him. But I mean, regardless, I do think that there are players with attributes that are better than Wright's. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think Wright should have gone number 1. But I mean, we're kind of past that already. It's already Detroit's turn. Detroit is number 8, I believe. So we're a bit past the Shane Wright saga. He's on the Kraken.
And the pick is in.
The pick is in. That's fast. They actually do it really fast.
Detroit's, I mean, the whole office at Detroit, they're notorious for picking up good guys. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
And, a question last year was that they picked Casa over Wallstat, obviously meaning that they value height, definitely, absolutely. So I don't really see Savoie going here. I mean, we'll see. But
yeah, I thought the Blackhawks were seriously going to take Savoie. I overthought it by a lot. I honestly think they were going to take Savoie because they traded Alex DeBrincat, and we literally have Alex DeBrincat as Matthew Savoie's comparison in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really surprised to see Savoie go here. I mean, the fact that they picked a goalie who probably would have gone after Wallstat, before Wallstat, possibly because of height, that definitely.
Yeah, I mean, still, we got Sebastian Cossa is still very, very good. I didn't think he was that good, but that's kind of what happens when you're on the most stacked WHL team that we've seen in quite some time. When you go 19-1-1, I think that kind of shows. So I see why, and now we're waiting on the Detroit Red Wings to make their selection. Just so you know, the next 5 it's going to be Detroit, Buffalo, Anaheim, the Sharks, and then Columbus again. They pick later down the draft. So right now you're looking at Matthew Savoie, Joakim Kamel, Marco Kasper, Brad Lambert, Connor Geeky, Frank Nazar, one of those, and now we're going to jack up the volume. So here we go.
So they get through center, Marco Kaspar.
They got Marco Kasper. Nice.
Ben, you're on him.
Oh, nice. Nice. I'm happy for him. He's going to be a Maxim and Talk Hockey guest sometime later on. So I'm very happy for Marco Kasper. Right now, let's go over. I think we had him ranked very low. I think a bit too low, in my opinion, and that was kind of on our fault. We had him ranked at number 20. He's 6'1", 183 pounds. He's a left shot. He's a center. He plays in the SHL in Sweden. 11 points in 46 SHL games with Rögle, but 13 points in 12 J20 National games with Rögle juniors. So that's in the junior league. He was over a point a game. So the first and most obvious difference is the size. This is comparing Marco Rossi and Marco Kasper. Whereas Rossi stands at 5'9", Kasper towers over him at 6'1". He uses his size well too, employing a long reach to break up passes and create interceptions, as well as anchoring himself in front of the net to take away the goalie's vision and pick up deflections. There's a grit to his game as well, and he's not afraid to lay out a big check in open ice or try and get under his opponent's skin, forcing them to make rush decisions that can sometimes lead to a turnover. Then there's Kasper's skating. While Rossi was also hailed for his speed and acceleration, scouts have been gushing over Kasper's skill on skates for over a year. Last season, he made his debut in the Swedish Hockey League with Rögle BK at just 16 years old, and although he only managed to put up 1 assist, he didn't look out of place among some of the best hockey players in the world, thanks to skating prowess. This season, he's been a mainstay in the league, playing 40 games and scoring 6 goals and 9 points, which places him second among all U18 players, third among U19 players, and 8th among U20 players. He was also part of Rögle's Champions League team, scoring 6 points in 12 playoff games. So his strengths include skating, speed, tenacity, creativity, weaknesses, shot, and handling. His NHL comparison is Brendan Gallagher, and Kasper's already a well-rounded player and could be in the NHL sooner rather than later. He doesn't have the highest offensive upside, but that's not what he's brought in to do. He's an aggravating two-way power forward, again with the power forward, who can use his strength and speed to create scoring chances or shut down opponents. With top-9 potential, he'll be a valuable addition to a team looking to bolster their prospect pool with a bit of grit and secondary scoring options. If he can work on rounding out his offensive game, he could very well be a diamond in the rough. Wow. So they got a very good player.
Yeah, I mean that all kind of happened quickly. Even when they announced that the pick was in, and then all of a sudden the pick is made. That was like all a very quick process.
Yeah, totally. Right now, I'm just making a bunch of Instagram posts as to what's going on because it's nothing short of weird. Matthew Savoy isn't going, and it's the 9th overall pick yet. Yeah. Anyways, sorry for the silence. Max is out. Something happened.
I have computer problems.
Yep, computer problems. It is. So Marco Casper, definitely big. Wow, there's a lot going on. Right now, Buffalo's coming up. There is a lot going on. So wow, just wow. The guy we had ranked 4th overall isn't going until this is what? This is what now? This is the 9th overall pick. The guy that's going 5th overall.
The pick isn't yet.
Like something's going on.
I feel like it's going a little bit faster than last year, which is good. Hopefully, we'll get through the whole first round, but we'll see what Buffalo picks here. And I mean, what we've seen tonight is almost every team has like option A, option B, and even option C. Teams are like definitely taking advantage of that right now.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, it's good to have options. This is definitely a well-rounded class. I would say that a lot of power forwards, two-way forwards. You don't really get many snipers, playmakers, just defensive defenders or offensive defenders. Someone who actually may shoot up the draft boards is Swift Current Broncos defenseman Owen Pickering. I have him in 2nd, 3rd round, but still.
I'm waiting for Camel. I'm hoping it's Camel because I feel like Camel's a little bit overdue right now, but we'll see what happens. And I'll put them in the volume.
And right now we get the Buffalo contingent coming up to announce their newest player to their organization. Again, that's 9th overall. It could go many ways. So now we're just going to have to raise the volume because we missed the pick. We don't want to miss the pick again.
Probably the biggest contract he could get if he wanted to get that kind of a goalie. But it's kind of an exciting time in Buffalo. The fan base, I think they're ready for the future, and I think some good things are happening. Kevin Adams. Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from Winnipeg in the Western Hockey League, Matthew Savoy.
There we go. The small forward, 5'9", Matthew Savoy, going to the Buffalo Sabres. Perfect match. I say he's 5'9", 170. He's a right shot center from the WHL. 90 points in 65 games with the Winnipeg Ice. His strengths are scoring. His skating is two-way game. Although he does lack hockey IQ, I think my comparison for him is Kevin Fiala, but he can turn out a lot better than Kevin Fiala. And he could be an NHL first liner. So there's a lot that can be there. But 9th overall. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like looking at Camel here. I feel like he's pretty overdue right now, but I mean everybody's kind of been overdue in this draft so far. And you got to keep in mind that last year they did pick defenseman on power first overall. So not surprised that they kind of maybe go with the undersized forward.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I definitely agree. And right now that means Joaquin Kamel, you're coming right up. Anaheim. I see them taking Kamel. They got Zegras, they got McTavish, they got Sam Steele, they got Sony Milano, and they're gonna get Joaquin Kamel. I'd be salivating if I was an Anaheim Ducks fan. Or they could take, since they lost Josh Manson, they could take someone like Brad Lambert. I've been hyping him up. When's he going?
The pick, yeah, not even on Anaheim yet, so we'll see what happens.
Got it. And we're getting Shane Wright picks and all that stuff. So,
I mean, in the meantime, now that we talked about a little bit about the combine, we can talk about ELC signing. So we actually recently interviewed a player that was signed to his ELC in this, I believe, December, which is a little bit of a weird time to do it. But Ben, in your opinion, how soon is too soon to sign a guy to the ELC?
well, sign him as quick as you want. I mean, just depending on how good the player is. If you think the player is NHL ready, or you just want the ELC in just so it's in, sign him as soon as the draft's over and you're allowed. If not, take some time, wait a little bit. It'll be okay. If he's going to college, obviously you can't really do that. It's against the law. So, yeah. And I guess next is going to be the Anaheim Ducks. So, Max, who do you think they could take there?
I mean, as we've kind of both been looking at it, I think it's Kemmel. I think another guy that, names people have been tossing up is Lambert, but in my opinion, I think he's the most overrated guy in this draft class.
Joaquin Kemmel?
No, Brad Lambert.
Oh, yeah, I do think he is a bit overrated.
I'm not a big guy on hating on people unless it's Igor Shesterkin, but
Really, you had to put it in there.
I mean, Lambert kind of left his team in the middle of the year and failed to really find a consistent thing in his game, especially when you're looking at younger guys who you're looking for consistency. If you can't find consistency in a guy at 18, how are they going to find consistency at like 25 when they're in the NHL? So Brian Lambert's on my do not draft list, but we'll see.
I don't think do not draft list. That's a little harsh. I do think.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I just think something like Brad Lambert can go in the teens, in the 20s, maybe even the second round. He could fall. But anyways, that's kind of what happens when you start off really slow on a pretty bad team, and then you get traded, and then you still have a slow season. Also because you get traded and it takes time to gel. So I understand Brad Lambert's situation, but it's definitely hurting his draft stock. And just so you know, I know it's already been an hour 17, but of course make sure to subscribe and like this video. And like our other videos, we have a lot shorter ones that are 18 minutes long instead of an hour and 18. Something like maybe our interview with 2021 prospect Logan Stankoven coming out of the Kamloops Blazers. No notable player coming out of the Kamloops Blazers this year, unfortunately. They've had a lot of good players recently, but this year...
The Ducks pick is in, and as Ben was saying, also leave a comment down on whatever you want. Who do you think is the most overrated guy or underrated guy? Or Tyler Brennan, best goalie in my opinion. But where do you think he's going to go if you're watching this as kind of the draft goes on? But we'll see.
Yeah, just literally comment everything. Anything and everything. We got so much to cover. There's a lot going on and stuff, so
would not be surprised to see Kemmel.
No, I would really not be surprised. I would really not be surprised.
And as Megan mentioned to us, Denton, Matejchuk, and Moose Jaw. So it'll be interesting. One's big, one's small.
It's in 2-2 tonight for Beaker. Former Hartford Whaler legend. Look at him. Cleans up nice.
The Anaheim Ducks would like to wish Kim Marchment, the Marchment family, and the entire San Jose Sharks our warmest sympathies. With the 10 selection, the Anaheim Ducks select Abel Mintikov And second,
Oh, Pavel Mintakov. Okay. I think I have him down in, I think, 17, 18. There's a lot of improvements here. Lakari Mackey, Casey Ostlund, and then 18. Mintakov, 6'1", 192 pounds. He's a left shot defenseman from the OHL. 62 points in 67 games with Saginaw Spirit. What will be interesting to watch is whether his offensive game will translate over to the NHL when he steps into that next level. It's a confidence that he's found with the puck, but he will likely be expected to reshape his entire game. The hope for any team that drafts him will be that he can develop his game away from the puck while maintaining the confidence that he's built with it. The skill is there. He sees the ice well, but the hockey IQ will be something that teams will look at when they get a chance on Mintakov. So strengths are like skating, speed, offensive IQ, and puck possession. Weaknesses, positioning, defensive transitions. An NHL projection is Mintakov has a high offensive ceiling, but his all-around game might not earn him a top pairing designation at the NHL level on a regular basis. It wouldn't be surprising to see him as a regular on any team's second pair, but count on him to be a major piece on an NHL power play unit at some point in his career. I have him for his NHL comparison as Chris Letang. He could really turn into Chris Letang, and I can see that right now. He's going to need some seasoning. He's going to need to go into the OHL, but he can do it. Max, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like Campbell's been like, and a couple other guys in this draft have kind of been like thrown behind, but I do think this is a good pick for them. He's not huge, but he's definitely got some size to him. Not going to be an easy guy to move. Brad Marchand once said on Sidney Crosby that trying to move him, even though he's kind of a short guy, it's like he's got tree trunks for legs. So, I think guys who are kind of built a little bit heavier and not super tall, they're hard guys to move. And this is a guy that I feel like Anaheim could use in the future, but definitely not a guy like now or next year for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you're taking someone, what was it, 10th overall? Yeah, 10th overall. You're not looking for someone right out of the gate. You're looking for someone with time. With time you're gonna find someone. So I think that Mintakov's gonna need some seasoning, but he'll be good. Next up, we got the San Jose Sharks. Joakim Kamel again, Brad Lambert again, Connor Geeky is starting to float around into when's he getting drafted conversation. So there's going to be a lot. I think something's going to happen. I really think something's going to happen. Hopefully no trade. That's gonna be good if there is no trade. But I mean, you could take someone from the National Development Program. You could take, I don't know who else you could really take. Again, just Kamel. If you want a sniper, just get Joakim Kamel, please, and just take it off our shoulders. You could take Denton Matejchuk if you want to compliment to Brent Burns and Mark-Edward Vlasic. If you're not going to buy out Mark-Edward Vlasic. Lakari Mackey, but doesn't matter. Just take best player available, I guess, right now. Either way, we have a lot of interviews planned. We have a lot of guys from Maximum Talk Hockey that are going to be going pretty soon. We have Jagger Firkus. We're waiting on him. As soon as he gets drafted, we're probably going to start closing down the interview, even if we're not out of the first round. But we're just waiting for Jagger Firkus to get drafted, just because we had him on the show and he was such a good guest. We didn't have him for too long. I think it was like 10 minutes, but we learned a lot about him, where he was from. He's from Alberta, like kind of middle of nowhere, and it was really nice to get to talk to him. Other people are someone like David Guyette. We're going to be talking to. He's from Sudbury. Owen Beck, he might actually go in the first round. Stephen Halliday, he's an overager. He might go in a later round. Something like Nick Moldenhauer, Tyler Masalik. Tyler Masalik's from the U.S. National Development Programs. They're starting goalie. Wait. There's a trade. Help me understand this.
Yeah. Arizona gets pick 11. San Jose gets 27, 34, and 45.
Okay, Arizona better like who they're getting at 11.
I would not be surprised if it was Kemmel.
If it was who?
Kemmel.
Who'd they take? They took 3rd overall Logan Cooley, so you might want Joakim Kemmel to pair with Logan Cooley. That makes sense. So I think that's definitely something that would work out and that could be beneficial to both parties.
I mean, we'll see here.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit here. I mean, right now the Yotes are on the clock, so now we just gotta wait some more. Anyways, Masalik, goalie for the National Development Program. Nick Boldenhauer, he's on the Chicago Steel. He's committed to play for the University of Michigan. Cameron Whitehead, he's a goalie for the Lincoln Stars of the USHL, I believe. Charles Gravel, he's a goalie in the QMJHL. Jordan Donovan, he's from the Hamilton Bulldogs of the OHL. Julian Lutz is from Germany. Adam Ingram, Youngstown Phantoms, St. Cloud State commit. So we have a lot of players that are going to be drafted this year. So,
and speaking of Whitehead, I actually had the pleasure of speaking with him. Very big guy on Vasilevsky. He likes to model himself after Vasilevsky. He loves the way he plays, same style. So I feel like that could be a late 6th or 7th round project for a team in the future. But I think if he is picked up in the 6th or 7th round, it'll be a good pick, kind of like Joey DeCourt.
Yeah, totally. And of course, like the NHL draft, it's like we're definitely not going to stream day 2 because that's just a whole different beast to handle. But there are a lot of day 2 picks, so just stay tuned on our Instagram channel. We're going to be posting everything we can just to get the word out there that we know these guys. Most of these guys are super nice. We've never met. I think we've met one guy who isn't the nicest. But we're not going to mention his name because he also has like 80,000 followers on YouTube. So
and it's a percentage of 600.
Yeah, say percentage of 600 in pros. So let's not forget that. But yeah, that's about it. So how much time is left on the clock?
Pick is in.
Okay. Arizona, pick someone, please. Avalanche draft picks. Wait, did Colorado trade now? Why are we looking at Colorado draft picks?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
This has been very confusing.
And anyway, an interesting thing from this year and last year, at least progress in this channel. Last year, there were 3 Max and Ventok hockey guests drafted. Coronado at 13, Boyko at 112. And Kukkonen at 162, and this year we got like 8 times that amount.
Yeah, exactly. We got like 9 guys, I think 10 guys maybe. That might. We're not saying they will. They might. We also are working on trying to get an interview with Connor Kurth, who might be drafted.
Somebody they see as a future starter. Arizona Coyotes on the clock, and now will make their decision. 11th overall.
Back up again.
Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from the Winnipeg Ice, Connor Geekie.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Connor Geekie
to
the Arizona Coyotes. Okay. First, Matt Savoie. 2 picks later. Actually, yeah, 2 picks later. Connor Geekie. We had him ranked, I believe. Where did we have him ranked?
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, I think we had him ranked at number 9. Okay, here we go. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. He shoots left. He's a center from the Winnipeg Ice. He had 70 points in 63 games, which is good, which is really good. So he's the younger brother of Kraken forward Morgan Geekie, and Connor possesses one of the most unique skill sets in the 2022 NHL draft. Few players combine his size and an elite offensive tool set like him. He's a dual threat, able to beat you with elite playmaking and a fantastic shot, all while possessing the high-end hockey IQ needed to effectively use these skills. On a Winnipeg Ice team that features another 2022 first-round projected player, Matt Savoie, and a 2021 first-round pick in Carson Lambos, Geekie still stands out because of his high-end talent. His strengths: IQ, playmaking, shooting, creativity, all things you need. Weaknesses, skating, but you can work around that because you're big. Defensive consistency, you're a forward, we get it, but you're a center, so work on it. Play driving, you had Matt Savoie, so it's understandable why you didn't drive the play. NHL comparison, Ryan Johansson, big guy for the Nashville Predators, Ryan Johansson. And Geeky's potential upside is huge. He could be a true number one center who dominates games offensively with his size and skill. However, there are big improvements he needs to make before that happens. If he can't make these improvements, he could top out as a middle six player who always leaves fans wanting more. It will take him a while to reach his potential, but he should develop into a two-line pivot who puts up eye-catching offensive numbers while needing another center to take on the more difficult defensive matchups. So, I like.
Yeah, and I'll quote from Eastern Conference scout just recently in May. I don't think he'll be the scoring power forward that teams convey so much, but he projects as a really smart two-way guy for me. Feet pretty obviously need improvement. As you said, his skating's not his best. And yeah, the scout also said if he can sort these out, he'll be a quality player for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, quality player, long time. That is definitely huge. Right now, Connor Geeky, newest member of the NHL, going to the Winnipeg. No, sorry, not going to Winnipeg. Sorry, I'm texting. I'm on my phone, posting on my story. Sorry.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
And Columbus is on the clock now. Your stories are going to be packed at the end of.
Oh yeah, no, they're always packed around this time. Yeah, I kind of like it when they're packed. But I mean, there's a lot, and I mean, when you know enough people in the junior hockey world, you always know someone that knows someone else. So, of course, be nice to see.
Throw the volume on here for a second, see what they're saying.
When you guys get on stage, it looks like you have a lot of matching suits in your organization. What's this plan?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a culture thing for us in Arizona. We don't. I think when I came on board, it's probably my idea to get everybody to match color coordinated and get her going. So here we are.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Richie.
Thanks so much, Emily. One more first-round pick for Arizona. Again, they moved up. Obviously, they felt that Connor Geeky was better than certainly were they.
A bunch of trading going on, not the easiest to keep up with, but
there's another trade.
No, this is the one that was just traded.
Oh, okay. Phew, I got nervous.
Arizona pick, yeah. So we've seen first it was Georgiev, then DeBrincat, then Romanov, and then Doc.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask. Just it's been a weird draft. Like, I don't know what's going on. At this point, it's just like shenanigans. It's a whole mess right now. So it's
definitely one of the crazier drafts we've seen.
This is definitely crazy. Last year was pretty cut and dry with who is just 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, the pick is in.
And NHL discussion. They posted the picture of the 1, 2, 3, like the famous picture that they always take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it says just as we all expected. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No Shane Wright. That's
there is no Shane Wright in there. So.
All right, we'll turn on the volume here and see what's going on with Columbus.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on. I'll just say that there is so much right now that's just blowing. It's just blowing up. So
the clock, the Columbus Blue Jackets again.
Blue Jackets again. They decided.
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from Western Hockey League Mucho Warriors Denton Matechuk.
All right, that's 5'11", 180, another defenseman. So
Denton Matechuk from the Moose Jaw Warriors. Okay, I like that prospect a lot. I'm really big on him. I think I had him at number. He got picked. No, I had him at number 13. He got picked at number
11.
11? All
No,
right.
12, 12, 12.
12, sorry. Denta Matejchuk, he's 5'11", 188 pounds. He shoots left. He's a defenseman from the Moose Jaw Warriors, 64 points in 65 games. And the Moose Jaw Warriors saw it fit to draft him 11th overall in the 2019 Bantam draft and are getting a fantastic return on that investment. He may not be the flashiest player, but he's a two-way solid puck mover who's set to captain Team White at the 2022 Kubota CHL/NHL Top Prospects game. His strengths are skating, shot intelligence, quick release vision, weaknesses, size and strength, risk, gap control. NHL comparison, Roman Josi. He will need another year or two of development, whether it's in the WHL or in the AHL. In this case, since he's going to Columbus, he's going to be playing in Cleveland, before making an NHL roster. He has the offensive tools, but working on defensive consistency and making sure he can carry over those tools from junior to professional hockey is going to be important. He could slot into a second or third pair NHL role, providing offense from the blue line, should see power play time, and eventually some PK time. That is very good investment from this 12th overall pick in Denton Matejchuk.
For sure. A great pick for Columbus. Getting back up on the stage, I think, you kind of know what your outline is for a player, and I think he fits it pretty well.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, there's so much going on right now. Just everyone who you don't expect to get drafted is getting drafted. Like Marco Casper, 8th, no one had him at 8th. Bob McKenzie had him at 10. We had him at 20. So it's very interesting, the developments that are happening over here. But that's okay, as Denton Matejchuk is in. And next up is the Blackhawks via the Islanders and the Habs. That's what happened.
This better be worth Doc, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, please let it be worth it, though.
And again, I'm not surprised to see Camel, as I've said for the last 12 picks.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm arguing with Devils fans. So that's happening. All right, as there's an ad, Max, let's review the 2021 draft class.
2021?
Yeah, so a lot of UMich prospects, a lot of college prospects. The only main college prospect that we see is Jack Hughes. No, not the one on the Devils. There's another one. He's playing in Northeastern. Apart from that, there's just a lot of prospects that have been going on. None of them have really played sizable games in the NHL yet. The only one is Cole Sillinger, which is very surprising. I did not expect him to do that, but that's okay. As we hope to see the Blackhawks not screw up their selection. They didn't earlier. I forgot who they took because, of course, I did. Who did they take? They took they took Kevin Korchinski. So.
And while they're picking at 13, remember lucky number 13 last year ended up being Matt Coronado. So we'll see if that will.
Lucky number 13. Could it be Jagger Firkus?
We're hoping.
If it is, then there's going to be a blessing at 13. So
that's going to be what we're rooting for again next year.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Right now, I've just been arguing with some people about what's been going on. So yeah, we're just waiting. Yeah, so as we wait for the Blackhawks, we're just We're just all over our phones right now. So yeah, we're getting ready. And I think right now, Max, is it safe to assume we're on the Joaquin Kamel watch? Can we assume that right now? We
Oh,
can
for
assume.
sure. And maybe even Brad Lambert too. But again, I'm not.
Yeah, I put him too high, and I don't think I should have. I kind of made these rankings like 2 months ago, when like the seasons were still going on and everything. So yeah, like I kind of made these rankings a while back. So it's like Kevin Korchinski. If I had to do it over, he would be close to top 10. Marco Casper definitely inside the top 10. Brad Lambert outside, I think maybe pushing 20s. Also Frank Nazar, Rutger McGorty.
The pick is in.
The pick is in. Jack up volume.
Any second.
And now they pick 13th overall here in the 2022.
Organizing. Please organize. Batman, get off the stage.
Building future in Chicago.
Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select for the United States National Development Team,
Okay.
Nazer.
Oh, Frank Nazar. Okay. I thought it was pronounced Frank Nazar. But,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, everyone did, to be fair. Max, I will talk about Frank Nazar while you talk about where he's. Oh no, actually no, I do know where he's committed. Frank Nazar is 5'10", 175. He's a right shot center / right wing from the U.S. National Development Program. 35 points in 24 USHL games with the development program. He's going to be playing hockey with the University of Michigan. Phenomenal program. That is all I have to say with everyone that they've been developing. Frank Nazar is no stranger to high expectations. The 18-year-old forward has produced over a point per game at every level that he's played at, projected by some as a top 10 pick in this year's NHL entry draft. That did not happen. Now he is, I believe, 14th or 15th. I forgot which number he's at. The Michigan native has fantastic vision, skates extremely well, and has almost as much of a knack for scoring as he does dishing out assists. His strengths are skating, top speed, vision, competitiveness, two-way game. His weaknesses are size and initial acceleration, NHL comparison, brain and point, NHL production. Nazar has the ability to step into a top 6 role in the NHL in a few years and may potentially even be a top line forward when it's all said and done. Though he's not a generational talent, he's all the makings of a player that can lead by example by understanding his role on the ice in all situations. And his upcoming commitment to the University of Michigan will only enhance that. So there's a lot to like about Frank Nazar going at, what pick is it? 13?
13.
Yeah, 13. Lucky number 13, Frank Nazar. So high expectations. So yeah.
Some scouts actually wrote him down as the second best division in the draft class, which is obviously something you look for in a forward. He's the best transition forward, and he also has the highest ceiling. So as we said earlier, right, has the highest floor, meaning he at the very worst he'll probably be top 6 forward. And Nazar, he has the potential to be a really impact guy in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean he can definitely be an impact player. I mean, he may be short, but it's all right. His upside, NHL discussion says, is a second line center. I'd like to see was a bit more. But yeah. So there's just a lot to like about him, and there's honestly so much that we can say about Frank Nazar. But of course, Joaquin Kamel, when's he coming? I think right now it's the Ottawa Senators that are going to be picking. And then it's the Canucks, then the Sabres, then the Predators, then the Stars. So now we're getting into playoff teams.
I think by Senators you meant Jets, but
Oh, Jets. Yeah, sorry. My handwriting is really bad. Yeah, the Sens don't pick ever again, I think, in this first round. Yeah, so after the Sens, Canucks, or not the Sens, what am I saying? The Jets, Canucks, and Sabres, it's starting to be the playoff teams.
Yeah, this middle part of the draft is usually the best because you see guys like who have been drafted like Pastrnak, Spencer Knight, Cole Caulfield. This is really where a fun part of the draft is. And again, like I've said a million times, Kemmel could be one of those guys.
Kemmel could be, Lambert could be. So who knows? Anything could happen. Oh, Shane Wright with a quote. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I won't forget those teams that passed on me. I'll definitely have a chip on my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. That's something. This is gonna send hockey Twitter on a pile of flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh, Shane.
Shane Wright, you just got yourself into a deep load of trouble, dude.
Oh, watch him go put up like 8 points in 140 games or something.
Facts. The entirety, the greater Montreal area, the two fans that like the two fans that like Arizona and all of New Jersey don't like him now. Except me. I love Shane Wright. I was always a big Shane Wright fan. So yeah, so I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, yeah, right now, let's just recap what's happened. So, George Slavkovsky, first overall. Simon Nemec, second overall. Logan Cooley, third. Shane Wright, fourth. David Jiricek, fifth. Or is it Cutter Gauthier? I forgot. One of those two went fifth. And then, yeah, so just a lot of stuff happened. So, what was it? It was Slavkovsky, Nemec, Cooley, Wright, Gauthier, Jiricek, Korchinski, Marco Kasper, Matt Savoie, Pavel Mintyukov, Connor Geeky, Denta Matejchuk, and then Frank Nazar. And now it's the Winnipeg Jets on the clock right now. I think their pick might be in. Max, can you confirm that their pick is in?
It sure is.
All right.
Let's turn on the volume and cross our fingers that it's Camel.
We're cheering for him. We are cheering for him. So
they could bounce back.
Yeah.
And those are some nice pieces that he just showed that they have in their system right now to complement the offense. But it's all about
as the Devils contingent goes up to the podium, they're going to be welcoming their newest player into their organization.
Together, he's been around a long time. He understands the inner workings of the room. I think they'll do a good job with that. All right, Canucks on deck, and then Sabres via the Eichel trade after that. But first,
Yes, the
Jets make the pick.
Camel.
Winnipeg Jets would like to thank the city of Montreal for the tremendous hospitality this week. Merci beaucoup. We'd like to give our deepest condolences to the Marchman family as a Jets 1.0 draft pick.
Okay, of course.
I'd like to acknowledge our season ticket members who are at our draft party back in Winnipeg at the Rec Room.
Okay.
For the 14th pick, the Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from the U.S. National Development Program, Rutger McGurty.
Okay.
Oh, he was happy about that one.
Of course, I would be happy also. Rutger McGorty, ranked at number 12, goes at 14, 6'0", 205 pounds, left shot, left wing from the USHL, obviously National Development Program, 33 points in 25 games. Yet another skilled American in this projected first-round class. McGorty's already been showcased on several highlight reels this season playing for the U.S. National Development Team, already boasting the likes of Cooley, Seamus Casey, who still isn't gone, and Frank Nazar. This 2022 group will likely comprise the bulk of the first round this summer, with creativity, high hockey IQ, a heavy, accurate shot, and a tremendous work ethic in his arsenal. He could be one of the most dynamic players in this draft. Strengths, shot, creativity, size, strength, two-way game, playmaking, leadership, work ethic, goes on and on. Weaknesses, skating, consistency. His NHL comparison, honestly, Zach Hyman. McGorty has the ability to become a solid top six player in the NHL with his power forward potential and goal scorer's mentality. He will be an asset on the power play with his size and heavy shot and dynamic presence all over the ice at even strength. I saw him compared to Zach Hyman of the Edmonton Oilers, which is fair since his work ethic and ability to make his line mates better are very much like the former Maple Leaf star. I believe he'll end up being a more productive version in his prime as Hyman doesn't nearly have the shot McGorty has. So Winnipeg just got themselves a Zach Hyman, and McGordy is currently walking up to the stage, the newest member of the NHL, and more importantly, newest member of the Winnipeg Jets. Of course, oh wow, the tux. Wow, he's got the tux on.
And the polka dot tie.
Oh wow, that is the sty is on point.
It sure is.
The sty is on point. I mean, what can you say? I mean, he's from Nebraska, the first player ever from Nebraska to be selected in the first round, and the only other player is Jake Getzel, third round. So high expectations, but I think he could definitely reach it. So yeah, next up is I believe the Canucks. I believe the Vancouver Canucks are up, and yeah, the Canucks will be up to select their newest member of their organization. Recker McGorty, of course, goes at number 14.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of him, he definitely did not disappoint. Almost in every season he's had, he's been over a point per game, which is you look at consistency and he checks that box. The best part about him that separates him from other players are his hockey sense and his shooting. It's unlike other players, and he's the fifth best power forward according to Elite Prospects in this draft. Again, as you said, he's not the tallest guy, but he definitely has some weight to him, which might make him tough to push around. And that's as a power forward, that's exactly what your kind of goal is in your build. And he does have a build that NHL general managers love.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I mean, NHL managers do love someone who's a good shot, and just the work ethic is so important. So
yeah, and his teammates have also complimented on his leadership abilities and his style of play. Especially the way he balances kind of creating plays and his physical play separates him from other prospects in this draft.
yeah, totally. And right now it's still Joaquin Camel watch, Brad Lambert watch, Danila Yurov, Jonathan LeCarry-Mackey, Sean Casey, Noah Ostlund, Liam Ochgren, Ryan Chesley, Gleb Trikazov, Philip Mashar, Jagger Firkis, Alexei Paravalov, Tristan Luneo, yeah, and just like guys like that, they're definitely gonna go.
We're almost 2 hours into this video.
Yeah, Ty Nelson, Isaac Howard, Calio Delius, and Nathan Gauscher round out our first round. Like we have so many guys that could go, and it's a very level draft after like the top 4. Like it just leveled out completely. So we have no clue who's going, but right now it's the Vancouver Canucks. As I believe that is Kevin Weeks breaking down the pick. So we'll see what is going on.
Yeah, the pick is in for Vancouver.
Yeah, I can see that. So yeah. Yeah, pick is in and just waiting as the Vancouver contingent, I believe, is walking up to the podium to announce a newest member of the organization. They could take literally anyone at this point.
And it would be a decent pick too.
Exactly, like it's just gonna be decent. Like it's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be bad.
You're on the clock.
It's gonna be good.
Pieces and Predators, Stars and Wild. So here come Vancouver Canucks. Pettersson, Besser just signed a new contract. Tough year for him with the loss of his dad. He's kind of an interesting year in Vancouver. They're trying to bounce back now this year. And they're sitting up the third in the glasses, as you can see. A pick. The first one under his tutelage as GM of the Vancouver Canucks. Taking 15th overall.
Halfway point, almost. One more.
The Vancouver Canucks are to select from Sweden, the SHL, Jonathan Lekkerimäki.
Oh, Jonathan Lekkerimäki goes to the Vancouver Canucks. We had him around 15, I believe, 14 or 15. 15. He's 5'11", 172, right shot defender. Right wing SHL, 9 points in 26 games with Djurgårdens. Last name sounds like it could be Finnish, but not only is Lekkerimäki a born and raised Swede, but he's also the top-ranked Swedish player in just about every ranking list you can find for the 2022 NHL draft class. And for good reason, too. You look at the trajectory of his hockey career so far, one thing will jump out at you immediately. He loves to score goals. His shot is insane. He's great skating, vision, IQ, and handling. Weaknesses are his defensive awareness and physicality. NHL comparison would be Mike Hoffman. And if all goes according to plan for Lekkerimäki's development, including that with the team who drafts him, there's no reason he can't be a goal-scoring top-six swinger at the NHL level. So, I think very good player.
And behind Kemmel, I believe, he does have the second best shot in the draft. And another big thing about him is he does have a nose for the net. Pucks seem to, really follow him around, whether it's a bounce in front of the net. He does have that good puck luck, which is always a big plus. So his shooting's good, and his puck handling is also really good. And he does have shades of Mike Hoffman.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, why'd your TV shut off?
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my other computer probably dying.
Oh, damn it, God. All right, well, no matter, Max. We'll just jack up the volume, and I guess we'll hear everything.
Yeah. Should I do that now?
Yeah.
All right.
There's Bruce Boudreau, of course, who came on the scene and really helped turn them around last year and will continue it this year.
So as we are waiting for the Sabres to announce their pick,
ESPN, Buffalo, you're on the clock. A dream come true for the players and really the parents who watch their young boys grow up into young men and now professional hockey players.
MLS Heineken rivalry is on ESPN.
so
First, LA Galaxy. Right. Tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Gentlemen, semifinals. Tomorrow.
all right, as we wait, I guess
There's Sky Racing.
let's see what's going to okay, maybe turn the volume down.
Achieve clear skin with Sky Racing.
My volume's not working. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so Max, I've decided this is going to be the last pick that we're going to be commentating on, just because just after this, it's just very level-headed, and it's not very interesting for us. We're hoping that Jagger Firkus will get drafted, but unfortunately we won't be reacting to him getting drafted. We had the luxury of doing that last year, but that's also because we interviewed Matt Coronado. But that's okay, though. So just in a bit, as soon as the Sabres announce their pick and we react to it and we analyze it, and we're just going to be calling it off for the night and just closing it in on a great draft. And we put in so much work for this. It was really an awesome experience, just for 2 hours of our time. It was definitely worth it. We saw a lot of surprises for probably an unforgettable draft. Many people will not forget this one. And yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This has been a crazy draft. Wright going number 4, Kemmel not getting taken, let's link into it. And hopefully Buffalo will kind of close off the cap with Firkus here, but we'll see.
Yep. Are they on the clock yet, or are they still doing commercials?
On the clock with 1:15 left.
Got it.
Crazy day.
I know, it's really crazy. It's just insane, though.
Pick is in.
Everything's happening.
Let's see. Let's see who they take. Oh, another trade.
Another one?
Alex Tuck, Peyton Krebs, a second next year, and 16th overall for Jack Eichel in a third. Oh no, this was earlier. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was earlier. That sounded familiar.
I was about to say.
That sounded a bit familiar.
I'm so excited. Man. Well, the pick is in, so we'll see what happens here. Buffalo cannot find their way into the playoffs or a good season, no matter how hard they try.
Oh my god. Just tell me about it.
So they did take Savoie earlier today. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, drawing works.
Owen Power, #1 overall.
All right.
Ricky Hardy, young guy. Maybe he'll be a top 4 guy. So we wonder if we'll go more D here or look for some sort of skill or character guy. I mean, you still need the third liners, grinders, right? And you're trying to build strong forward 12-man units. So the Buffalo Sabres make the second pick of the first round. They're second of 3. They got one more after this.
With the 16th pick, the Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from your garden in the Swedish Hockey League, Noah
Ostlund. Okay, Noah Ostlund.
Wow.
We had him ranked 17th. He went 16th, 5'11", 163. Shoots left. He's a center. He's from the J20 National, so juniors, so Swedish juniors. 42 points in 32 games with Djurgården's juniors. Quickly becoming one of Swedish hockey's hotbeds for the 2022 draft. The J20 Nationals Djurgården's IF boasts 3 of the top Swedish prospects this year. Jonathan Lekarimäki, Liam Öhgren, and Noah Ostlund. They usually form a lethal line for Djurgårdens as all of them rank in the top 10 in scoring, with Öhgren leading the way with an insane 33 goals and 58 points in 30 games. As centerman, Ostlund isn't much of a goal scorer, as he only has 9 goals to go with 33 assists. He's basically the Henrik Sedin or Joe Thornton of his line. Lekarimäki would be right there with his line mates if not for an injury that sidelined him since March 8th, as he had 20 goals and 35 points in 26 games before that game. For Noah Ostlund's strengths include playmaking, vision, skating, handling, hockey IQ, work ethic, and his pace, weaknesses, high-end scoring touch, and physicality. His NHL comparisons, Joe Thornton or Daniel or Henrik or Daniel Sedin, really doesn't matter. At the very least, Austin will become a high-volume assist man as a second-line center who can sub in on the top line in a pinch. He'll also be a threat on the power play because of his vision and playmaking skills. If he can become more of a scoring threat, the ceiling of a productive top-line center is not out of the question. Chemistry with a couple of goal scorers like he has in Djurgårdens with Lekarimäki and Öhgren, and the century mark could be in sight. So there's a lot, and I mean we're very intrigued for our last pick. So I think this is gonna do it. We ended on a great note with Noah Ostlund.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Click like if you liked the stream. Click subscribe. Just subscribe to our channel and like all our videos. Just they mean a lot to us, and always it always just puts a smile on my face. And